First step in solving your cube is to do the daisy. You need to have the yellow center facing up, and then you need to put the 4 white edge pieces around that yellow center. So I'm looking for my edge pieces, and if I have one on the top here, all I need to do is roll it down so it's in the middle, and middle pieces can be rolled directly up into. My last one's down here. All I need to do is roll it over here, move it to the middle then. Now you notice I haven't messed up any of my others. And so then if I turn the top, I can roll this up. That's step 1 is daisy. Step 2 is to align your edges and then roll down. When I say align edges, I mean we're going to match these up with their centers. So for instance, if this is my white and orange, I need to move it so that my orange is over my orange, and then I'm just going to roll it down to the bottom. I'm going to do that with my green, which is already lined up, and then I'm going to roll it down to the bottom. My red's already lined up. I'm going to roll it down. And my blue is actually ready to go too. If it would have been over here on top of orange, I would have need to make sure that I roll my blue on top of blue and then roll it down. So in the end, what I have now is I have this white cross, and each one of my edges is aligned as well. Step 2 was align edges and roll down. Step 3 is white corners. What I need to do now is to place my white corners in up here. As you can see, some of them are up here, and these would be called unfriendly. I want my white corners to be down on this bottom row, and so since I have this one here, I can put it in. I notice that it's orange and white, so I need to make sure my orange is lined up with my orange center. So I'm going to put this so that my orange is lined up with orange. And now what I know is that this piece is going to go right here, and I can visualize that. But I don't want to get rid of my cross. So that what I need to do is I need to move this out of the way. I need to push this side down, then I can put my piece back, and then I can roll that up. Now I know this is correct because I'm starting to create this top layer. It doesn't look like any of my other pieces are in this bottom row, so I need to move this piece down here. And I can do that just by going like this. Moving it to the bottom. I'm going to move it out of the way so I can roll my cross piece back up. By doing that, I've actually made 2 more friendly pieces. This red needs to be aligned with red. So I'm going to move it over to the red side. And I can see that this white piece is going to go right here. But I can't do that without moving this piece. So I'll move it out of the way, roll this down, roll it back into position and roll it up. Now I'm going to take this is also another red. So I'm going to line it up with my red, and I know this piece is going to go right here, but I don't want to get rid of what I've already worked on. So I need to move this out of the way, then roll this down, and then roll this back into place, and then roll this up. My last piece is actually on the bottom, and that's a bit fussy. I'm going to take this piece that's on the bottom, and I'm going to put it directly underneath where it goes. And then what I do is I just take this and I roll it down, and I'm going to notice that it came back up over here. I'll roll this out of the way so I can roll my cross piece back up. Now I can look and see it's friendly, and then it's got an orange. I line it up with orange. I know this white piece is going to go right here, but I need to move it out of the way and roll this down, back into position and up. Now what I've done is I've created my first layer, and I've kept my white face. Step 3 was white corners. Step 4 is to build layer 2. The first thing you need to do is you need to take your white face and you need to put it away from you. And our first step is to line up the edge with the center. So the only pieces I can play are the ones that are here. These are edge pieces. I can't play a piece with yellow. So I'm going to go to my pieces that don't have yellow, and I can play this one or this one. I'll play this one first. So I'm going to line this green, with its green center. And then I need to decide, does green-red go over here or does green-red go over here? Well, I can look at my cube and see that green-red goes over on this side. Here are my steps. I've decided it goes to the right, so I'm going to roll my face away from the placement like this. Next, I'm going to roll my bottom towards the placement. And then I'm going to roll my placement to me. And then I'm going to do my middle move. And this is what middle move is. I just move the middle. And I know if it's correct because I can see that my two greens and my two reds match. And then I can just turn up this side. But now you can see I've messed up my whites. But they're easy to fix. Our last step is to align the whites. Now you can see I just took that piece and I've placed it in. I'll do this one next. I'm going to align it with blue. And notice how I'm always keeping this white face away. I know that it's going to go over to the red and blue side. So what I do is I roll my face away, roll my bottom towards, placement side down, middle move, and I can see that it lines up. I'm going to roll that up and then align my whites. And you'll get fast at this white alignment. Now, I can do my orange green. So I'm going to roll this to where it's on my orange. I know that orange green goes over here. So face away, bottom towards, placement down, middle move, and then back up. And then I'm going to align my whites. Now I can see I've put this piece into play. So I'm going to turn it to my orange. Orange and blue goes over here. Roll my face away, bottom towards, side down, middle move, can tell it's correct, and align my whites. Green, red, blue, and orange. Now I've got my first two layers, and my white is still intact. Step 5 is yellow cross. So you might end up with a situation like this, in which you've got your whites and your first two layers, and if you end up with this L shape, you're going to want to hold it in this orientation, and then these are the steps that you'll need to follow. You can pause the video here, but the steps are this: 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. If you look now, I have this what we call bar. Bar might not always look exactly like this, but it will always have these three. I need to do this same algorithm again. So again, look at your algorithm. Those are your steps. Pause the video. Or you can watch with me. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Now you can see I have the yellow cross. I have some extra pieces, but those don't matter. Step 5, yellow cross. Step 6 is your top edges. And what we mean by top edges is we want these pieces to be in line with where they belong. So I should be able to get 2 of them. I'll try my green. Green lines up, this one doesn't, and blue lines up. So in this case, I have to get green and blue. So green should be in front and blue should be in back. Sometimes you'll get a situation where they're off to the sides, and we'll see that next. And then you'll do this algorithm to get everything straightened up. Right side, top. Right side down, top. Right side up, top twice. Right side down. And what you can see now is I've got green and orange. but I don't have my red and blue. So this situation means I'll hold on the right side and the back the two pieces that I have. So my green and orange go away and to the right side, and I do the same algorithm. Right side, top. Right side down, top. Right side up, top twice. Right side down. And if I do one more top, I should have all four centers aligned. Step 6 was your top edges. Step 7 is your top corners, and this is a fussy step. I've got my yellow cross. I've got my first two layers. I've got my white. So I've just got these four pieces left. And now what I need to do is called an evaluation. Each corner does not need to be in the correct way, but I need to have the correct colors. This corner should have one orange, and it does. It should have one green, and it doesn't, and it should have one yellow. This corner is not correct. I'm going to go and check this one. It should have one green, one red, one yellow. This corner is correct. Now, I could check my other corners, but I know they're going to be wrong. Because you can have either one corner correct, no corners correct, or four corners correct. So I know that I'm going to start with this one right here. This is my algorithm. Top, right, top back, left. Top again, right down, top, and down. So I do that algorithm and I reevaluate. I can still say I have this one correct. This one's correct now too. This one's actually perfect. Now, the thing is, you might need to repeat that same algorithm 2 or 3 times to make sure your corners are correct. Notice that this corner is not as perfect as this one. That's okay. Our next step is going to get, because I have red, blue, and yellow right there. So I'm where I need to be. Step 7 is your top corners. The last step I just call 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to get these corners to get where they need to be. I don't need to do this corner because it's correct, so I can angle the cube to where I can do my first corner. Here are your steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look, I just lined up my yellow here, which means I'm done with this corner. I can turn my next, and I'll start the algorithm over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I got my top. My bottom really looks messed up, but don't worry, it'll come back together. Rotate to my next side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've just solved your Rubik's Cube.